Welcome, my friend. Let me tell you something I've seen again and again with English learners. You study for 3 days. You feel excited. You learn a few new words. You even tell yourself, this time, I'm serious. And then, you disappear for 2 weeks. Not because you are stupid. Not because you have no talent. But because you are learning alone, and you don't know how to hold the steering wheel. When nobody is watching, it's easy to drift. When nobody corrects you, it's easy to repeat the same mistakes. When there is no English environment around you, English starts to feel like a special activity instead of a real skill. And slowly, quietly, a painful thought appears. Maybe I can't learn English. If that's you, I want you to listen carefully. Learning English alone is not your weakness. It can actually become your biggest advantage, if you use the right method. Because being alone gives you 3 powerful things most learners don't have: control, privacy, and repeat. You control your time. You control your pace. You can choose simple English, or challenge yourself slowly. You can repeat the same story 10 times without feeling embarrassed. You can practice speaking out loud, without anyone judging your accent. And that privacy is not small. For shy learners, privacy is freedom. It lets you make mistakes safely, and safe mistakes create real progress. So in this graded reader, I'm not going to teach you like a school lecture. I'm going to give you a clear daily system you can actually follow, even if you're busy, even if you feel shy, even if your English feels broken right now. We'll go through 5 simple steps. First, how to build a private English world around you, so English becomes normal. Second, how to train speaking alone in a way that builds real fluency. Third, a small daily routine that covers the full skill: speaking, listening, reading, and writing, without confusion. Fourth, how to use AI for feedback, so you stop guessing and start improving. And finally, how to track your progress, so you can see proof and stay consistent. If you want practical graded reader lessons like this, calm, simple, and real, subscribe to Inspire English Stories. Now, let's start with step 1, because if you're learning alone, you must create your private English world first. If you are learning alone, here is the first truth you must accept. English will not enter your life by accident. It will not suddenly become natural just because you want it. You have to design it into your life. Not in a dramatic way, not in a stressful way, but intentionally. Because when you don't design your environment, your old habits design it for you. Let me introduce 2 simple ideas: friction and exposure. Friction is how difficult it feels to start something. Exposure is how often you see or hear something. If English feels heavy, complicated, or scary, that's high friction. If English appears only during your 20-minute study session and disappears for the rest of the day, that's low exposure. Your goal is simple: reduce friction and increase exposure, slowly, gently, daily. Let's start with your phone. Your phone is already your most powerful teacher. You look at it hundreds of times a day. So instead of fighting your phone, use it. Change your phone language to English, but choose your level wisely. If you are a beginner, and changing everything feels overwhelming, start small. Change only 1 or 2 apps. Maybe your settings, maybe your social media menu. You will begin to see real-life English words every day. Update, battery, storage, privacy, notification. These are practical words, not textbook vocabulary. Keep an English keyboard ready, so your brain starts thinking in English letters and patterns. The key is balance. Enough exposure to train your brain, but not so much that you feel lost and frustrated. Now let's build something physical. Choose 1 small space in your room. 1 wall, 1 corner, even 1 part of your desk. This becomes your English corner. You don't need to decorate it like a classroom. Keep it simple. A notebook, a pen, a few sticky notes. On those notes, write survival phrases, short sentences you can use in real life. For example, can you repeat that? I don't understand. Give me a second. Let me think. I'm still learning. These are not big grammar rules. They are real-life tools. When you see these phrases every day, your brain stops treating them as foreign. They become normal. And when English becomes normal, your fear decreases. Make English normal, not special. The more special it feels, the more nervous you become. Next, choose 1 consistent input source. This is where many learners make a mistake. They watch random videos every day. One day American accent, next day British, next day advanced debate, next day begin a cartoon. Their brain gets confused. Instead, choose one simple, clear English source and stay with it for weeks. One YouTube channel, one podcast, one playlist, one graded reader series. Repetition builds familiarity. Familiarity builds understanding. Understanding builds confidence. When your brain hears the same voice, same speed, same style repeatedly, it relaxes. And a relaxed brain learns faster. Now let's remove one big problem: decision fatigue. When you are alone, every day you ask yourself, should I study today? When should I start? Maybe later? And later often becomes never. So turn English into a habit, not a daily decision. Choose one fixed time. Small time. 15 to 20 minutes is enough in the beginning. Same time, small time. Maybe right after breakfast. Maybe before bed. Treat it like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up and ask, do I feel motivated to brush my teeth? You just do it. English must become the same. When the time arrives, you start. No negotiation. And remember this mindset shift. You are not alone. You are in training. Training is quiet. Training is repetitive. Training sometimes feels boring. But training creates skill. When you design your environment this way, reduce friction, increase exposure, English slowly becomes part of your daily life instead of a separate subject. And once your environment supports you, something powerful happens. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. Now that you have your private English world, the next step is important. Don't wait for a partner to practice. If you are alone, you must learn how to become your own speaking partner. Let's talk about how to do that. Now let's talk about the part most learners are afraid of: speaking. When you are alone, you might think, I can't improve my speaking because I have no partner. But let's break this idea down calmly. What does a speaking partner really give you? Only 3 things. First, a chance to speak out loud. Second, a chance to listen and respond. Third, a little pressure because someone is there. That's it. So instead of asking, where can I find a partner? Ask a better question. How can I create speaking, response, and pressure by myself? And the answer is, you absolutely can. Let's begin with the most important rule. Speak out loud every day. Not in your head. Not silently. Out loud. Speaking is not only a mental skill. It is physical. Your tongue, your lips, your breathing, your rhythm. These are muscles. If you only think in English, but never move your mouth, those muscles stay weak. That's why many learners understand some English, but freeze when they try to speak. Their brain knows something, but their mouth is untrained. So give yourself 10 minutes a day of real speaking. Even if it feels simple. Even if it feels slow. Consistency is more important than difficulty. Here are 3 solo speaking modes that work in real life. First, describe now. This is the easiest way to start because you don't need imagination. You just talk about what is real around you. I am sitting at my desk. My room is quiet. I feel a little tired today. I am holding my phone. I want to improve my English. Keep it simple. The goal is not perfect grammar. The goal is continuous sound. When you speak about what is happening now, your brain builds automatic language connections. Second, do a daily recap. Every evening, speak for 2 minutes about your day using a simple structure. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. For example, in the morning, I woke up at 7. I felt sleepy, but I went to work. In the afternoon, I was busy and a little stressed. In the evening, I came home and relaxed. At night, I am practicing English. This structure trains sequencing. It helps your brain organize ideas in order. Over time, your speaking becomes smoother because you are not searching for structure. You already have one. Third, add one opinion line every day. Many learners can describe actions, but they cannot express opinions. And real conversation requires opinions. So add sentences like, I think this method is useful. In my opinion, consistency is more important than talent. I believe practice builds confidence. Opinion sentences make your English sound more natural and mature. Just 1 line per day is enough to build this skill. Now let's create safe pressure. Pressure is important because it forces you to focus. But you don't need a real person to feel pressure. You can create it safely. Record yourself for 2 minutes a day, or at least 2 or 3 times a week if you are busy. Open your phone recorder and speak about a simple topic. Then listen. At first, you may feel uncomfortable hearing your voice. That's normal. But after a few weeks, you will notice something powerful. You speak faster, clearer, more confidently. Recording gives you proof of progress. And proof builds motivation. Mirror speaking is another powerful tool. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. Look at your face. Watch your mouth move. Keep your shoulders straight. This builds presence. Many people fail not because of grammar, but because of weak delivery. When you practice in front of a mirror, you train eye contact and body language. You start looking like someone who believes in their words. Confidence grows from repetition, not from talent. You can also use timer speaking. Set a timer for 60 seconds and speak without stopping. Even if your sentences are simple. Even if you repeat ideas. The rule is no silence. When 60 seconds becomes easy, increase it to 90 seconds, then 2 minutes. Fluency is not about complex words. Fluency is about continuity. The ability to keep going. Timer practice trains your brain to reduce long pauses. And here is something very important. Sentences are more powerful than word lists. Memorizing vocabulary alone will not make you fluent. Words become useful only inside sentences. So choose one simple pattern each day and build 10 sentences with it. For example, I want to, because, then create sentences. I want to improve my English because I want more opportunities. I want to practice daily because I feel tired of starting and stopping. Or use I'm trying to, or I used to, but now. This builds grammar naturally. You are not studying rules. You are training patterns. Patterns create speed. Speed creates confidence. When you practice like this daily, something interesting happens. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission to speak. Your mouth becomes used to English. Your brain becomes less afraid. And when you finally talk to a real person, it will not feel completely new. It will feel familiar. Now you can speak alone. You have speaking practice, response training, and safe pressure. But to improve faster and avoid confusion, you need structure. Not random practice. Not emotional studying. A simple 4-part routine you repeat every day. Let's build that system next. Now that you know how to practice speaking alone, let's build something even more important, structure. Because here's the truth. Professional learners don't study randomly. They repeat a small system. They don't wake up and ask, what should I learn today? They follow a routine. Not a complicated one. Not a 3-hour plan. A small, repeatable structure that trains all parts of the skill. If you study randomly, your progress feels random. If you follow a system, your progress becomes predictable. That's the difference. And today I'll give you a 4-part daily routine that is simple, realistic, and complete. Part 1. Speaking. 10 to 12 minutes. Start with a 2-minute talk. Choose a simple topic. Your day, your goals, your feelings, your plans. Speak continuously for 2 minutes. Don't stop for grammar. Don't restart sentences. Just continue. After that, repeat 2 or 3 useful sentences from your talk. For example, if you said, I want to improve my English because I need more confidence, repeat it clearly 3 times. This strengthens rhythm and pronunciation. Then finish with one confidence line. Something like, I am improving every day, or I speak even when I make mistakes. This last sentence is not motivation. It's identity training. Part 2. Writing. 8 to 10 minutes. Write a micro diary. 6 to 10 lines about your real day. Keep it simple. Today I felt tired. I worked hard. I practiced English for 20 minutes. I made some mistakes, but I continued. Now here is the golden step most learners skip. Correct and rewrite. Use a correction tool or AI to fix your grammar and explain your mistakes in simple English. Then rewrite the corrected version by hand or type it again. Rewriting is powerful. When you rewrite corrections, grammar becomes memory. Without rewriting, you just look at the correction and forget it tomorrow. Part 3. Listening. 12 to 15 minutes. But not random listening. Choose one 1-minute audio clip. Only one. Listen to it 3 times. First time, just listen for the general idea. Second time, try to catch keywords and phrases. Third time, write down what you hear, even if it's incomplete. Then check the transcript or captions. Compare. Notice what you missed. This method feels slow, but it trains your ears deeply. Instead of understanding 10% of a long video, you understand 90% of 1 minute. That builds real listening power. Part 4. Reading. 8 to 10 minutes. Read something small, a short story, a short article, a simple dialogue. Do not choose a huge book that makes you tired. Read small. And read aloud for 3 to 5 minutes. Reading aloud trains pronunciation, rhythm, and sentence flow. It connects reading to speaking. Then collect one useful sentence per day. Just one. For example, I was nervous at first, but I decided to try. Write it down and use it later in your speaking practice. Over 30 days, you'll have 30 powerful sentences you can actually use. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds good, but I'm busy. That's why you need what I call a minimum viable routine. Even on your busiest day, you can still train. Here's the 20-minute emergency plan. 5 minutes speaking, 5 minutes listening, 5 minutes reading aloud, 5 minutes diary writing. That's it. No excuses. If you can scroll for 20 minutes, you can train for 20 minutes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is continuity. Why does this 4-part system work? Because it trains the complete skill. Speaking trains your mouth. Writing trains your structure. Listening trains your ears. Reading trains your input. Together, they create balance. Many learners only focus on one part, maybe listening or vocabulary, and then wonder why they can't speak. Fluency is a combination. When you repeat this small system daily, your brain adapts. Patterns become automatic. Sentences form faster. Pauses become shorter. And here's something important. This routine is small on purpose. Big routines feel exciting for 3 days. Small routines survive for 6 months. And 6 months of small daily action will change your level completely. But even with a strong routine, there is one problem when learning alone. Feedback. When no one corrects you, you may repeat mistakes. When you can't see improvement, you may feel stuck and lose motivation. So the next step is powerful. You need a teacher that is available anytime, anywhere, and you need a way to track your progress clearly. Let's talk about how to use AI like ChatGPT as your 24/7 teacher, and how to track your growth so you never feel lost again. Now let's talk about the final piece. Learning alone usually doesn't fail because you're bad at English. It fails because you can't see progress. You study for weeks, but you feel the same. You practice speaking, but you still hear mistakes. And when you can't see improvement, your brain says, this isn't working. That's when people quit. Not because they're weak, but because they have no proof. So here's what you do. Use ChatGPT as a teacher, not as Google. Don't just ask for word meanings and close it. Talk to it like a coach. Write your sentence and say, correct my sentence. Explain my mistake in simple English. Give me 3 more examples. If your sentence sounds correct but strange, ask, is this natural? Rewrite it in a natural way. This is how you upgrade from textbook English to real English. For speaking, tell it, ask me one question at a time. I will answer. Then correct me and ask the next question. Now you have a speaking partner. You can also do role plays. You are a waiter. You are an interviewer. You are a tourist asking for directions. Practice real-life situations before they happen. That builds confidence quietly. But feedback alone is not enough. You must track progress. Keep it simple. Record your voice once a week. Same day. Same 2-minute topic. After 4 weeks, compare week 1 and week 4. You will hear improvement. That's proof. Create a common mistakes page. Right, wrong, correct example. Review it weekly. Also, collect 3 useful phrases per day. Not 20 words. 3 phrases you can actually use. After 1 month, you'll have 90 real sentences in your memory. And remember this mindset, not perfect English. Daily English. Fluency does not come from perfect grammar. It comes from repeated practice. Let me leave you with this line. The person who becomes fluent isn't the one with the best teacher. It's the one who trains when no one is watching. If you choose daily practice over perfection, like this video, if you want calm, practical English lessons that you can actually use, subscribe to Inspire English Stories. And in the comments, write, one habit I'll start today is ______. Keep it small. Keep it clear. Then begin.